Hey guys, Petra Williams here from the Fiery Petra Williams Show. And I have got two very special guests with me today. But before I do that, like with anything, I always set an intention before I get cracking. Mm-hmm. And so my intention is to inspire the audience to experience the magic of sound meditation and heal from the inside out. It's all from the inside out, babes. Today I've got two wonderful guests, and I don't usually do this, but because there's three of us today, and it's going to be quite a different setup, and we're giving it a go. We had a bit of a play with the setup. We finally got there, which is exciting. I'm going to give you both an opportunity to introduce yourselves and tell us something unusual about yourself. Third nipples, I don't know, 6 toes, whatever's exciting about you. Don't hold back now. Who would like to go first? They're both like, you.
Unusual about myself.
After you.
Well, first introduce yourself, name, what you do, etc.
My name's Geeti, and I am a singer-songwriter and mantra musician and facilitator of sound, but also of movement. That's been my background. And yeah, just love the opportunity to bring people together through the art of sound that really allows people to rest into that as a refuge for their own heart and for their whole spirit. And through that, yeah, like a healing process can happen within. Hopefully that ripples out into the world. So yeah, I'm passionate about creating those spaces, whether that's sound, but also movement, or just bringing people together in a home to do that. So that's kind of what I do. But
so what's unique about you, Tony?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about
it. There must be something. Don't make me ask someone else.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very exciting, I just think I've had a bit of an unusual pathway to get to here, like.
Don't tell us yet, because we're going to explore that soon. So what's that? So what's your talent? I don't know, double jointed. I don't know.
Double jointed.
Can you touch your tongue with your nose?
Good.
Oh, you can't say. She's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You don't do party tricks.
I used to do this as a kid.
Yeah.
Do little concerts for families and friends, and it's pretty gross.
Oh, yeah, you
like
just
that,
love it.
and wiggle my ears.
Oh, that is such a cool party trick. Yes.
There we go. One. I had to dig deep.
You had to dig deep, I could tell. Thank you, Geeti. That was a wonderful introduction.
Never been asked that before.
Over
to you. Yes.
Wow.
He's like, thank goodness I didn't go
Wiggling
first.
my ears, so I don't do that.
Introduce yourself first.
So my name's Gyan, and I'm a singer-songwriter also, and a sound healer and a space holder. And yeah, I've been doing music pretty much all my life, and then really discovered the path of yoga and mantra and Kirtan about 15 years ago, and yeah, just been loving that discovery, what's unfolded musically, and I love just holding space as a facilitator, retreats facilitator, and event facilitator. So yeah, it's been really beautiful journey as well with Geeti as well the last 7 years. Also working together with that. Trying to think of something unusual.
I can see the brain was sort of working towards. Yes. Yeah, don't be shy. Oh, do you?
Pretty long.
Oh, yeah. Is that your special girl? Can you do anything with it? Too funny. And it's so funny. You go ahead, please.
I don't know. 28 teeth?
28? How many are we supposed to have?
32.
Oh, really? Oh.
But,
Did you have your
so
wisdom?
kind of a bit like Dracula. So I've got my canines are close to my primary incisors.
Wow, that is such a cool claim to fame. Too funny, I love that. Isn't that funny? Now, the names you've got, are those initiated names or those your birth names?
Yeah,
Because you're G and G, right?
We're G, but in real life, other life, this is real. We're J and J.
Are you?
Julie and John.
Stop it. No way. Really?
Really?
Yeah.
J and J.
Oh, Jules and Jean.
Yeah, Jules and Jean.
Is that a French?
Yeah.
Maybe. So we always laugh when we see that. But yeah, Julie and John, and then Jonathan Julius Parry actually is my birth name.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. So tell us about, because I think some people won't know what that means to have an initiated name. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so that means like we basically both had an initiation from a master and in India, and I was really just seeking a mantra actually, and I got called to go to an ashram in India and spent some time there, and then I just wanted to just suss it out and see, and then I just felt wow, I actually felt really connected to that master, Swami Niranjan Saraswati, and then I put in an application, and 3 days later on my birthday I got the mantra, and then I also got a name as well. So I didn't ask for a name, but it kind of just came to me as well. Gyananand, which means Gyan means wisdom and Ananda means bliss. So blissful wisdom, or the bliss from knowing yourself, I guess. That could be an interpretation. It's when I came to Sydney just to make it easier for people.
I didn't even say it.
Kind of past it's lots of A's, lots of N's.
So what's the significance of getting an initiated name?
It's essentially, it's like getting a mission statement and a vibrational entity in a sense for you to kind of
grow into.
Yeah. So I actually had an intention. My sankalpa was I follow my intuition, because I was deeply disconnected from that and disconnected from my body a lot, and growing up and in my 20s. So I really wanted to kind of know what would be the right decision to make every single moment of my life. I'm a Libra, so I'm kind of got that.
Me too. I'm on the cusp though. I'm cusp Libra Virgo, so it depends which way. Depends on my mood.
Yeah, so that became something really important to me when I awakened to my spiritual journey, you could say, and I was like, wow, suddenly realized like, gosh, I've got agency and choice every moment of my life, and that I felt kind of the burden of that, almost the weight of that actually at first. So I was like, how can I bring, my body and my intuition, back online to sort of serve me and to know what to do at any given moment, like that, like kind of a right course of action, so to speak.
And that's what your name gives you?
Well, the name, it was interesting. It is ushering that in to my life. So it's like the idea is that every time you hear the name, someone calls you, addresses you by that name, it's a reminder to yourself that, oh wow, okay, gosh, I do have wisdom and I do have bliss within me. Oh wow, that's beautiful. So it's a reminder to, I can tune into my intuition. I can actually intuit what to do that I feel is the right decision.
I love that. Yeah. Awesome. What about you?
And that hopefully brings bliss as well to me and others,
So much in the name.
Name.
I know, right? Geeti, swing the microphone round to you,
Okay,
so we can tell me about your experience.
Yeah, to keep it short and sweet.
Yes, short and sweet.
Actually, I received two names, but I want to talk about the second name because I think
go for it. Whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah. So I also decided to, apply for a name. I wasn't planning to, but I just felt, no, this is a symbolic of a new beginning or a new start, like a new stepping into a new way of being, a new life. And So it came to me, but originally I read it because it was Anand Geeti, and I thought, oh, I've got the wrong name. It says blissful song. I don't sing. I dance. I'm a dancer because I was, very much into conscious movement and dance. That was more of my life. I did love Kirtan, but I really wasn't as my main thing. And so then, people say, no, there's never a mistake. And it was very interesting. So Anand is blissful and Geeti is song. And I took that name on actually when I started doing the dance training because there was another Julie in the room and I thought, oh no, can't have two Julies. I took that name on and, I finished that and did that. But then there was this point where the sound and the song and the bliss started becoming almost more important, was calling me. And as it's like the power of mantra. If someone keeps calling something or saying something, that it holds a vibration, it holds an energy.
Mm.
And that energy, calls out, brings into manifestation, what's invisible or what is potential. And I see that when people give you a name, usually it is someone who has an expanded consciousness and an understanding and can see through the essence of your potentiality.
Mm.
Somehow, like I didn't even meet this person, but somehow it came through and it was like, I see something that she doesn't see. And I didn't even believe, I thought it was a mistake. So, and then just over time, I've been surprised myself that, there was a point where I just went, actually, I'm moving as movement from the main thing. It's still going to be part of my life and it's been a step, but it's actually the sound and the bliss of the sound that feels like my true path now. And both of our names had Anand in them, bliss. So it was just really beautiful. He dropped that because it was like Gyanananda and Anand Geeti. So it's just like we just have to.
That's just
carry
weird.
The bliss I keep getting Gyan. So, yeah.
And what tradition is that? Is that the Hare Krishna tradition, or is that a particular tradition? The name
that
initiation.
This game came through Osho, and your name came through Bihar, another school of yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. So interesting. My name's just Petra. It means rock. I mean, I don't know what's happening there.
You're solid. Solid as. Yeah.
Look, and it's not to poo-poo. Like I once read research like your name is the sweetest sound to your ear. And so it's so true. Like I can be in a crowded place and someone calls my name and I'll immediately respond. And, well, it depends who's calling, right? But yeah, so none of the stuff. It's my true knowing that all of it matters. All of it matters. So thank you for sharing that. I just love that
Question.
I love that. It was I thought Gigi, I would totally, from a marketing background, I would so leverage that. So let's talk about, the kirtan, maybe, is that the main work? Let's talk about the music and the sound as you were talking about it. And, guys, you expand on it as your work, what your work is. I know you guys from a kirtan's perspective. So I wondered if you could just tell us a little bit about what is kirtan, where does it come from, how is it different from other modalities, so the audience can get a bit of an idea of what it is, because I find a lot of people don't know about it, which is just a sin. So, yeah, go ahead. Please tell us more about it.
So Kirtan, my teacher gave me the definition once that it's continuous praise of the names of that which we revere.
So, can you say that again? Continuous praise.
Continuous praise of the names of that which we revere.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, or
The mother.
Yeah, so there's always a component generally of a J or a Hare, which is like, let us celebrate, let us remember, let's honor. And then it's a deity or the divine, or if you're not comfortable with those words as well, it's all good in Kirtan. You could, that could mean also higher consciousness or awareness, the universe. So we're connecting to that when we're singing in mantras generally, and that it's in a spirit of devotion, of bhakti. So it's like it's a total offering. So rather than the singing being an entertainment, it's very much a sort of giving your heart to that which you revere. So, if you're atheist as well, this practice can still work. So it might be that I believe that we all revere something that is an innate quality within us, reverence.
So, okay, I'm just going to play devil's advocate. If someone doesn't know what reverence means, what does that mean?
I guess a quality of, wow, kind of like wonder, or like gratitude. Yeah, it can be more like that too. Like you see a waterfall and you go, oh my goodness, wow, that's spectacular. Or,
something bigger than ourselves, I guess. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you have to share it, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
You guys, you're a couple. Like,
okay. We can
share it, just make love to the mic.
Yeah. Seeing I've got the mic, can I just want to add to that.
Go, please.
From another perspective as well, because what happens if you don't feel reverence? Just as another...
Well, that's why I wanted to define it, because what is that?
And that's the beauty. It's kind of relates back to the name. Like, I'd forgotten who maybe my potential or what my path was. Someone was calling that, and I remembered. Higher energies don't need to be reminded of who they are. But when we, as a human, call out to Divine Mother or Shiva representing eternal consciousness, or it's another aspect of the mother who embodies courage, or Saraswati who embodies creativity and wisdom. When we call these names, especially when we've forgotten, the nature of the names, because it's not just a name, it's not just a label, it's an innate vibration, it's an subtle embodiment of that energy itself. This is why Sanskrit and some of these mantras feel so potent, because they're said to be realized. So you're actually calling down and activating the essence of those qualities. So even if you have forgotten, or you've forgotten and you're not revering, you might end up, it comes closer to you. You can have more of a direct experience, and then perhaps the reverence comes afterwards. So yeah, I think there's two ways.
No, that's
entering.
Yeah, and I love that.
And we flip, because sometimes we can feel so connected and in our hearts, and other times we can start and we've had a bit of a rough day and things haven't gone. We can be a bit disheveled ourselves, even at the beginning. We're human. It's not always this enlightened state. So that's the whole point of this practice, is that we can keep energizing that and watering that seed. And then when we do it in a group, and this is the difference, another aspect of Kirtan, it's not just like a personal practice. You can practice by yourself, but the power of the Kirtan is when we do it in community with music and rhythm and this repetition. It's the collective energy too that really helps us remember. So sometimes we're not chanting it, but you just can feel that passion, or you can feel that longing in another voice next to you, and that energy will come into you, and likewise what your experience is having an effect. So when we're working in the field of energy and vibration, so much more is happening on multiple subtle levels, to the mind, to the emotions, to the body. And these vibrations are also said to, hit different chakras in our body, clear different energies, awaken emotions that might be in the way of why we can't feel that connection, because we've got anger sitting on us, or frustration. So just the very nature of this practice as well, it's working, that's the sound yoga, the nad yoga. It's another form of yoga. We move our body in hatha yoga to shift energy. It's doing the same thing, but on these very subtle levels and deep subconscious levels, penetrating into the mind. So yeah, there's multiple levels that it's working on, and I think that's why it's so potent, and why we so love it too, because it can feel new, and it can have different purposes at different times.
Yeah, I really love that. So for you guys who don't know what Kirtan is, it's a call and response. So the musicians in front or the singers, is there a name? Facilitators.
Kirtan Wallas.
That sounds sexy. Ooh la la. They sing a mantra and then you respond and it's just wonderful how it starts with generally slower and then it sort of increases in speed and there is a real potency to it. And even if you don't know what the words mean, for me, because you're singing in Sanskrit often, they do have a vibration. I always find it has, when just the way our brains work, just the way we work as human beings, when I know what I'm singing, it has more potency to me. And I understand it more, and therefore I want to do it more. But it really is a very potent way of becoming present, connecting with the energy, connecting with the divine, connecting with yourself, connecting with each other, and really being in a room of people that do it. Like, honestly, by the time, this is why I always wear short sleeves, even in the middle of winter when I go to Kirtan, because I get so hot because the energy, the Shakti moves. Like, I'm just like stripping down. I'm like, I wear clothes, like, you know. But yeah, it's I cannot encourage it enough. But I do think one of the main things that come up is people go, I can't sing. Doesn't it come up often? What do we say to people who go, oh my God, I sound like a cat's choir. Please, can I still come?
Yes. We need you.
Yes.
We want you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Can speak.
yeah, one of the most beautiful things I think about Kirtan, for me, when I was starting as well, and I was really shy at singing actually, and in my 20s I wanted to be a performing musician. Yeah, I didn't really have the courage to do it, or I'd have to drink copious amounts to just get on the stage and you know, be kind of a wreck afterwards, you know. And a lot of that was that kind of vulnerability about my voice and just feeling like, I'm not a good enough singer, and, you know, hiding behind a kind of front man as well at the time. And
You were like a male Karen Carpenter. She was hiding behind the drums. You know who Karen Carpenter is, do you? The Carpenters.
yes.
Come on. You must.
Yes.
Geeti, if he doesn't know who they are, you have to educate him.
So before his time.
Okay. Whatevs.
Anyway, back to.
But yeah, so yeah, the refreshing thing about Kirtan was just like you could, you know, it just doesn't matter what your voice quality is like. And I found that hard to kind of digest at first, but it, like, the people who lead it and the people who go, it's like they're really carrying that, and it's this kind of non-competitive world that is, it's not about impressing anyone, or, you know, and it's just, in a way, your voices all kind of merge as one anyway in this beautiful Kirtan choir that happens. So yeah, we really encourage people to really give it a go, like,
Especially to give it a go if you don't think you can sing.
yeah,
Because on the other side of that too, sometimes there's mental chatter and past traumas of someone going, you gotta sing, you know. So it gives you an opportunity to actually move through that. And that's connected to our throat chakras, and it's connected to our expression and our communication and all of that. So, I mean, I was shy. Like, I was a mover. I expressed my body, not through my voice, you know. And I know it's just through singing and doing it with all the stuff that can kind of go on. That's actually got me to a place. You know, if someone said, you'll be leading kirtans in 10 years or 20 years, I just laugh at them. It's like, no way. That's what I say to people, like, yeah, I was the last person who thought I'd be doing this, you know? So it's possible, and it's not only possible, it's really, transformative.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting because when I first started going to Kirtan, I was like, Jesus, I can't, what's this name? I couldn't pronounce half the names because, as you said, they're like 100 letters long, and you're like, and then like the tonality, and it's amazing how much stuff singing brings up. It's like dancing. I love dancing. I think I say this in every interview that I'm a mean ass salsa dancer, just in case you missed it in the last 100 interviews. But it's the same as dancing. People feel they need to drink to get up, because when you're kids and you're dancing and someone will say something unkind to you, or you're singing, and you internalize that without even knowing. And I think that really shows up when you come and you do something like Kirtan. And that's great. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Well, how about we explore it now? Let's talk about the emotions, right? Because I know that's something you really promote, is be the witness to the emotions that come up, and accept what's there, and just welcome it, because that's really relevant now, isn't it? So let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us more about that.
Good.
They're so sweet, guys. It's embarrassing. Oh my God, look at them, so in love. Oh my God, I just want to vomit on the side. I know, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Forgotten the question now.
Emotions, guys, emotions.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think Kirtan is amazing practice for really bringing out our emotions. And I'm like a really kind of suppressed Englishman, in that kind of, in a family dynamic that was, it was just about basically suppressing the emotions and not saying how I felt. So for me, Kirtan is like really liberating process, and it's been a really healing thing for me to be total basically with whatever I'm singing, and it doesn't matter if I'm just not completely in tune, it's not perfect, the pronunciation might not be quite right, but that connection to the emotion, and they change, right? They're shifting and changing all the time on the journey. And really the main component of Kirtan is, in a sense, is witnessing. It's like any other yoga practice, any other spiritual practice. It's like the witnessing is like key. So it's like, what's coming up for me as I'm singing, how am I feeling? Like you mentioned heat, and just being with that, what that might be, revealing. And although Kirtan is also very much just letting it go without even sort of so much inquiry. It's just kind of, and things, experience. And then there's a beautiful opportunity at the end of each Kirtan that how we facilitate anyway is like there's an invitation into silence. So that's often a time when the emotions can kind of heighten or, settle or integrate, or just simply being, beyond that emotional body, actually. That is really the real medicine as well. So it's feeling the emotions on one level is amazing and deeply healing, but also in a way transcending them through, in a natural way, through almost like singing out your emotions, that singing them through, kind of spending them, you know what I mean? So, and then to get to a place which is like beyond that, which is your true, your true nature, which is stillness and bliss, peace, harmony.
I always say love and light.
Love and light, yeah.
Rainbows and butterflies for me.
Some dark demons come on the tree, kind of.
Did you have anything to add? Do you teach that?
What was just coming to me was why I feel it's kind of Kirtan can be such a support for that is because we are so much in our mind and we're so busy. We don't have spaces. A lot of the time, some people might meditate in the morning and a little bit, but we don't have these good, solid, held space where we have a chance to feel safe. Plus, we have the conditions that are softening and maybe any armoring that's in our body because we can't deal with this, so we just put some armor up And then we put some thoughts on top to kind of keep that in place.
Keep that shit down.
Keep it down, right? So the nature of the kirtan over time, we start slow. And there's this sense of you're continuing to rest into your own being and experience. And over the time, just by the nature of vibration and sound and music and what's happening in the room and the intention, that starts to loosen. So we get to feel things that we may not have had a chance to feel or we haven't wanted to feel. And then there's a chance for that to flow and move, because it's only through the moving that it's going to change. Or we get some little insight later in the silence. Oh my God, I've been holding on that for so long. I didn't even know that was there.
Mm.
And I think that's a big part of that moving kirtan as an opportunity to move from that, the mental space, which is very important and needed. But we need those spaces where we can really, also drop into the heart. And that's why it's a bhakti yoga heart practice, that we are dealing with those emotions, because they sit in that region of us. So, yeah, it's potent medicine.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. And so bhakti to me means love. I don't know if it does, but that's what I made it mean for myself. And I think and I'm going to geek you guys out in a second, but with some science behind this. But it is, I think that we say, as you see, we push down emotions, and then the more we push down, as you said, we're suppressing who we really are, which is love and light, and joy, and wada. And then the kirtan, the vibration, the energy, comes in and says, "Get out! You don't belong here because you are love and light," and it just shoots it out. The Shakti comes in and it just shoots it all out and just says, get out of there. And sometimes it's not great. Like, I have to have kirtan where I've wept, where I wept, like I have to actually leave the room. Like, it was not pretty, and I was going through a tough time in my life. There's been times when I've just felt such joy and teared up with joy and appreciation, and so those emotions, and they're so strong because I'm in the heart space, and for me the vibration just blows open the heart and throws away everything that needs to go. And as you said, the mind is so busy suppressing that for whatever reason, but the kirtan blows it out, and you want it out. I can only speak for myself. I don't want that in there because I want to live from a place of love and light, right? But I am going to tell you a bit of geeky stuff, right? Because this is what did I say? It's a show of weekly, what did I say? Yeah, weekly wisdom with sass, soul, and science.
Okay.
So I'm the sass, you're the soul.
Yeah.
This is the science. So I had a look at vibration, and I had a look at, sound medicine, and they actually really are exploring sound medicine to help people with mental health issues, right? So according to an online resource, which I didn't cite, so they say your theta waves, is that how you say it? Theta waves is 4 to 7 hertz, and that's when you meditate. So that's apparently your meditation hertz. And then your alpha waves are 8 to 12 hertz, which is your relaxation vibration. So this is how your mental brain waves synchronize with sound. 40 hertz, which is your gamma waves, is research. They're using it now to see how they can help people with depression. And when I listened to it, there was a lot of crickets, like nighttime sounds, like crickets and things. And 432 hertz promotes mental balance. So do you guys know what hertz your music is, by any chance? Have you measured it? Do you know?
Let him speak.
Well, we're in 440.
Yeah. Okay.
Generally, so
I don't have that on my list. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of the universal frequency that is global, that say orchestras and musicians would tune to. It's like the middle A, and so it just means that basically we can collaborate with anyone in the world. We can collaborate with ourselves because kids harmonium.
Oh, okay.
They're tuned to that particular frequency, and other instruments like piano, except especially those kind of instruments. But yeah, you can also, it's also quite a movement these days to tune down slightly to 432 hertz, and you find that a lot in sound healing music. And I definitely don't subscribe to that 440 is any way harmful, because there's like conspiracy theories that say it is.
Are there? Of course, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
I love it all.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. You can go out and Google that.
I believe that, we're, from the science I've read as well, like we're vibrational beings. That
Yes.
field of vibration is in constant flux, and it's in a way seeking different vibrations, frequencies to kind of re-harmonize and rebalance itself. So it's incredibly intelligent at doing that. And so sometimes that might be like frequencies along the 440 hertz bandwidth would be like most conducive, for example, for that. Or sometimes it could be 432. Sometimes it could be 442.
I reckon you guys should totally run an experiment by like changing the hertz without us knowing and seeing if we as the crowd respond differently. Like, do we start squealing like animals? Or wouldn't that be fun?
I'm sure it's been done. But we're talking now about like what your base frequency is, and then how you build relationships within that frequency.
Okay.
Because music is not everything. Is the foundation where you start as a platform, and that having a healing or a non-healing. But, I think what's really, really important is what happens on top of that frequency. So we're using our own frequencies, but, the standard frequency as our basic when we're doing kirtans. But, we might go into a sound healing and I'm using different bowls that are based on a different, they're pretty, we're pretty much locked in, generally only just because we want to bring the music, the bowls and the different things in relationship to the music we're playing. But we'll individually notes, like we can play very deep Tibetan bowls that are down in these theta frequencies. So it's not like just because we're basing our frequency on, one particular frequency, all of the frequencies we're actually calling upon as well. And that's, so we're taking people into those deep states when we sing or we're playing things, and we're bringing people up into those very alert mind, because we've raised the energy and the frequency of the music. So I think it's kind of all of it.
Yeah, so no, I love that. And I just really wanted to make a point there, the guys, that if you don't believe that it has an impact on you, there's tremendous amount of research. And there's actually this French musician, and his name Plume, Plume, who speaks French. Do you guys speak French?
May not.
We'll call him Plume. Or maybe it's Plume or something like that. But, he stuff's on YouTube, so he really advocates for animal welfare. And he goes and sets up in zoos and paddocks and plays music. And the way the animals respond, like a horse will put its face on his shoulder, and baboons and giraffes and zebras and buffalo, like all the meerkats come and stand. Have you seen it? You should totally check it.
I've seen some with horses.
A little bit like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that just shows you, because he's really promoting the animals as emotional beings, and so they're just not animals, right? But I mean, and animals, they don't have the cognitive mind that stops them not from feeling the vibration. And kids are the same. Like when I was in the ashram in India, and I did a healing and an energy healing, and they did it on this child, and this child just responded so strongly to this energy healing. Well, of course, I'm so in the mind that I don't recognize it, right? So whether you feel it necessarily, you don't, it has an impact. And we are 70% water, and water is impacted by vibration, right? So this podcast was never here to convert anyone of anything. Like you either believe it or you don't, but you can't poo-poo it without experiencing it. Yeah. Kirtan, like anything I teach on this podcast, it's experiential, right? And it's not a one-time deal, right? You have to keep going, you have to keep listening, you have to keep singing and practicing to get the full potency of it. Hey, I just love it. I love this stuff so much. So exciting. Yeah, because, I just feel, so often people are cynical without having experienced it. And then that's the mind again, right? I'm like, if it's not for you, that's cool, man. But I'm preaching to the converted, so go away.
There's a lot of different versions of Kirtan as well. That's something else.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because some maybe only be chanting Krishna, for example, as the main thing. Others, we like to be very inclusive. So we chant Buddhist mantras. We also bring English in. So our intention is to try and make it accessible and try and make it relatable and try and, offer a variety of ways to connect in, because we're also all different with what we relate to and connect
Yeah, that's
well.
great.
So I think that's also important. So you try it once and you go, try different restaurants.
Actually, that's so relevant because I've been to different kirtan. Even the facilitators, like any leader, makes a difference. Like I've been to kirtan where I was just like, wow, doesn't work for me because X, Y, Z. And then I go to a different gram like, wow, I love this because of X, Y, Z. And you just have to explore it and find your jam, like literally, right? Find
Just like anything else we were looking
totally.
different yoga classes, just because it's one thing, there's so many varieties. And that's the beauty of the time we're living in now, like Kirtan and what was available, maybe 20 years ago and what's available now. Like there's so much more openness and interest in sound.
Yeah.
And sound healing and Kirtan and all of these vibrational medicines, and more science coming out to back that up, and more people having the experience of like, yes, this really works. So we've got more variety and we've got more options, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and the interesting thing in that is this stuff always existed. It was like in the East, it's thousands of years old, right? Only now is it becoming more mainstream, and then the science backs it up, which is great because consciousness is increasing and everything's perfect timing.
Yeah.
But it's not new, and it's not like, oh, it's a new fad. Like, guys, it's been around for like thousands of years, right? But if you want to be cool and do it, like whatever that means for you, it's fine. You did talk about unity consciousness, right? You really promote that too. Tell us, what is unity consciousness?
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I'll speak to that one. So unity consciousness, again, is, I think, that shift from the mind and the head to the heart, because the mind is really great at defining, but it can also separate. And things are different. So we don't want to unacknowledge the difference, because that's the beauty of our world. But to, rather than just focus on the difference, celebrate the difference, but also keep remembering and try to experience that underneath it, the unity of all life and what connects us rather than what separates us. And that I had this really deep experience when I was at Glastonbury a couple of years back, and it was after the attacks in October in Israel, and you could feel in the air this heaviness of people's hearts of like, how can this happen, and how can this be perpetuated?
That
you know what I mean? Just keeps going on.
I like that. Like it was perpetuated.
Yeah, exactly. And I just remember just throwing my hands up and just feeling very disheartened. And then when I was actually the Chalice Well, which for me is a very sacred place of the divine feminine, and I just felt this really strong, loving presence, and almost like, dear child, just smiling at me. Of course you're feeling pain and but it's just the nature. It was just like, it's just the nature. If people are not focused on the unity and they're focused on, the difference, this is just going to happen. It's kind of like science, So, and then the words came, may all that is divided know its unity, came to me very strongly through that. And I was like, oh yeah, we just got to keep remembering that. And then, then I had the download of like, and it's so important to keep creating opportunities for people to experience that, in their own hearts, in their own beings, even for a flash of a moment. It's like, oh yes, that experience of oneness, of that person's pain over in, Russia or Ukraine or wherever it is, it's the same pain, it's the same human suffering. and just to keep that as a vision of possibility. I'm kind of can be naive, or like, are we ever going to really have pure peace? But we can keep holding that as a possibility and a remembrance of that. And that's why I feel kirtan and the sound, because sound unifies. It opens the ears, it opens the senses, it opens the heart. We quite often close our eyes, which is also what divides and separates. Fantastic skill. But the sound, there's the nature of sound and listening that is a unifying force. And I think also that's maybe why sound has come in, and it also feels like very connected to the receptive energy of the feminine, where we're needing to include and keep including and feeling that love and compassion for all beings, regardless, and water that seed. So, yeah, that became a very, like, I'd always felt it, but from that experience at Glastonbury, I just felt like this is the mission, I feel, very passionate and just like, just keep doing it.
I love downloads. They're the best. Downloads are the best. They're like,
Just a download.
And look, I just want to say to that, first of all, why do people always focus on the wars that are going wrong? Why are people not focusing on everything else that's going right? So it's always like, oh, there's so much suffering because of the wars. But then what about all the joy that's happening? There's actually probably more joy happening than there is suffering, right? So like, it's so interesting to me that people always sit in, especially in the fucking spiritual circles, it's so annoying to me that people constantly focus on suffering. Instead of going, wow, guys, look at the joy. Walk down Manly Beach. Look at people hugging. Look at people surfing. Look at people playing with their kids, right? So again, we in the spiritual community need to stop practicing what we are saying, because you get what you focus on, right? So it's not, for me, it's, yes, there's suffering and there's joy and what you put out there. So if you sing and you focus on the suffering, you bring more suffering. For me, it's like focus on the joy, focus on the peace, and you see what you want to see, right? And that's why there was another Kirtan group that I was part of, and all they spoke about was suffering. And I did go to the facilitators. I knew them well. I've been going for years. I said, you really need to start focusing on joy. I said, you keep perpetuating it. I said, why will you not talk about all the great stuff that's happening in the world? Why will you not talk about the hole in the ozone layer that's shut, that's closing? Does anyone know? Does anyone know that the hole in the ozone layer is actually healing itself? Right? And there's all this amazing stuff, but yet everyone focuses on the suffering. What's the go with that? Right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, right? So if you focus on the joy, then unity is a natural consequence of that. Right? We're all happy. We're happy with ourselves. We're happy with the environment. Right? And then that unity is, for me, this is just really how I see it, is a natural consequence of that. Another great thing that one of my spiritual teachers said is, there's nothing wrong with the world. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to fix anything. Everything's as it's meant to be. There's a universal consciousness that keeps the earth spinning in orbit. Why do you think you need to fix anything? Just be your joy, be your light, be that. And you've already, just by being who you really are, which Kirtan allows you to be that way, you're impacting everything, because everything is unity, everything is consciousness, right?
Yeah.
And when I hear my spiritual teacher saying that, I'm like, it's up to me to be who I am. And that's the only influence I ever have.
Yeah.
And really, and so I never, exaggeration, I have really trained myself not to ever talk about something I don't want to bring into the world. Because by focus, you bring things into the world. It's all quantum physics stuff. But really, so my encouragement to anyone is stop talking about suffering, because you're bringing it about. Talk about joy. And that's really how I see that. And I don't think it's spoken enough in spiritual communities. And the thing also, if you listen to people like Alan Watts, do you know who Alan Watts is? Yeah. Gyan's like, yeah. It's got nothing to do with age, man. Gosh, Geeti, look at it. How old are you?
44.
Well, you're 4 years younger than me. Like, it's not. So, but even when you listen to the spiritual teachers of the past, the world was going to shit then. Does that make sense? They were always talking about how the world was going to shit. So the world's always going to shit, apparently, right? But like, if we can really refocus on the joy, I promise you the world will change. I cannot. Shall we bet on it? What, any thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Go for it. The young man in the room. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean the beauty of Kirtan is it's just constant affirmation of joy. Like that's what it is. It's actually just totally bringing that in to our being, like every moment. Like so. Every time we chant a mantra, it's like actually, yay to the universe, yay to like me, you know, and my connection with that and to everyone and to the heart. So I remember when I was first sort of experienced chanting, it was such a liberation for me because I'd never had anything else that a medium, an opportunity to be in my joy. Like it's not something I think that is a part of social conditioning in a way, or a part of generally upbringing and schooling, or you know, to actually be able to be encouraged and to even to sit in with joy as your companion for, you know, an extended period of time, if not your whole life. Why not? And that's what Kirtan opened the door for me with that, and like a genuine, authentic joy, you know, that was
not a sugar high joy, one which I really like.
Not like not through like
spiritual
berating, bypassing, or berate, you know, or criticizing, or it was a joy that was like, and not seeking validation externally. You know, it's like a genuine feeling of like, I guess, well-being and nourishment inside, and even like a peace, and also which kind of blossoms into this feeling that wow, you know, I'm really relishing life. And I think that's what chanting Kirtan, it's like that's actually its aim, and that's what happens to us, right, in these circles. Like and you witness that with lots of people. They just the faces kind of just change, and gradually there's a lot more, can feel a lot more lightness, and people by the end of the Kirtan, it's such a beautiful thing. So it's like it's just like a constant affirmation of joy and positivity, so that we try and facilitate in a way that kind of brings out, and it's like different qualities of aspects of ourselves that Kirtan brings out as well, like resourcefulness, courage, equanimity, peace, connection to the heart, you know. So all the different mantras can bring that out as well.
No, I love that. I just want to say that Kirtan, and I have mentioned this before when I was interviewing Camilla on it. You guys know Camilla, right? And Kirtan is truly the only form of meditation for me that stills the mind. Like, honestly, in the beginning, I sit down and I start doing Kirtan, and I notice my voice is thin. It's quite thin, and I can't really hold the note, and it's in my throat. And then as the Kirtan progresses, and it's not always the same, it just drops into my solar plexus, my stomach, and I can hear the groundedness of it and the solidity. It's like it's for me, and this is my experience, it's a groundedness. And I can really, and then I can actually hear myself. So it's like I'm self-soothing. So even though I'm hearing other people around me, I'm actually witnessing myself singing. So then I witness the words, which is, again, a very unique experience, because then I'm singing, but I'm not singing. Does that make sense? Yeah. For you guys, it would make sense. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to experience it. So it's quite unique, right? And I remember the first time that happened to me, and this was years ago, where for the first time I was like, oh my God, I'm actually witnessing myself singing. And that's when I fully experienced the concept or the essence. I was actually witnessing, and I hadn't had that before. I'd heard about it. It sounds weird, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what it is. So yeah, that was my unique experience. But you go ahead, Geeti.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Well, it's cool, eh? Yeah, I think it's cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, you guys, yeah, that's why you want to come into Kirtan.
Amazing. I just wanted to just reflect.
Yeah, go back.
It's back on suffering, joy, and like personal. And I think it's really nice, like going back to the suffering. You know, there's personal suffering and there's the collective suffering. And what I found from my own experience, Kirtan was really powerful and helped transforming my personal suffering.
Because you mentioned before that you were experiencing quite a bit of grief when you came. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that's what I thought I'd use an example. So yeah, my partner, well, my father died early in life, which was kind of an opening for me to start seeking for something greater than just what was here. And then, yeah, many years later, my partner at the time, he also suddenly passed. So I was just like faced with loss and grief. And that's actually when the mantra became even more potent in my life, because I would come and sing mantra and kind of the tears would come through because the body doesn't lie, as we know.
Oh, yeah.
So I can be, feeling I was okay, and I would chant, and to actually fully chant, then the tears would come. And then what I would experience is like those tears would come, and at the same time, so that was like my human self really expressing what it needed to express. And there was this other part of me that just emerged, which was like this higher part of me that was like what you were talking about in a sense, the witness that was totally fine, totally strong and resilient and fine. It's like, I'm going to be fine, And so I was having this double experience at the same time, but it was through that allowing of, I say acknowledging, and this is where it's like indulging, or is it just allowing, really honoring the truth of my own personal. But then that felt like the more that I allowed that, the more the joy could come. Because I always feel like the deeper the grief, the higher the joy, in a sense, like it's the same kind of cup. So that was really amazing to be able to then keep cultivating my own joy, so that, then you have the empathy for other people who are suffering, but rather than being drawn into their suffering, and because it's kind of triggering your own suffering, I think a lot of
like trauma bonding almost. Yeah.
Which is, it's beautiful on one hand because of the empathy, but we can fall into that trap of it really bringing us down and feeling heavy and getting stuck in that. So what I thought, what I'm trying to say is like the more that we can then have those opportunities to heal and understand what's happening in ourselves and increase our own joy through these practices, we can still have the empathy and know they're people, but we're from this place of, like an unconditional love, that we can just be sending love out. We can be offering something out. We're acknowledging that, but we're not being dragged down. And that's something that I've really kind of struggled, because especially for empaths around, it's very easy to kind of, be pulled down. But I've found myself so many times going, oh, this isn't helping anyone. It's not helping me. It's not helping anyone else. What can I do? Okay, I can keep cultivating my own inner joy, my own connection to something higher that's going to fill me, so that when I am in contact with someone, I've got more capacity basically, and I'm helping to lift the vibration rather than bring it down. So it's a really subtle dance, of how we dance between those things. But I think, for me personally, the sound and the kirtan has been incredible medicine and healing for me to get to a point where, I can feel like I can hold more of all the colors, of all the feelings, and not be totally, she says.
I have to tell you guys a funny story though. So we were at Kirtan. These guys invited me, G invited me to their home. And we were doing Kirtan there, and we had a wonderful experience because my birthday is in September. I do receive and openly accept birthday gifts. So just hit me up, DM me for my address. and Geeti's birthday was last month, I think.
Yeah.
And there's this beautiful birthday ceremony where you sit, and then each person comes and sits in front of you, kneels in front of you, and gazes into your eyes, and then gives you, your well wishes. There's no words. It's all done telepathically. It's all done by, silently. I don't know. And then they put like a red, what is it, sacred
Tikka.
tikka?
Yeah, it's like a tikka. It's
Like a little red dot that the Indian ladies often have on their foreheads. And I had to laugh at Geeti because she was like so busy mixing up those little paint stuff. And we kept saying to her, sit down, babe, and receive the blessings. She's like, no, the paint needs to be like the perfect consistency. Like, you're fine, sit down. It was it's so funny. Well, I was just like, yeah, bring it on. Like, man, bring me the blessings. But and the reason I mention that, because even after that experience, though actually the reason that experience was so potent to me and I could be open to receive was because I had done the Kirtan. Because the Kirtan took me out of my head, dropped me into my heart, and I didn't have the mental chatter. So I was literally just there receiving. But if I had done that before the Kirtan, it would have been a totally different experience for me. I would have been like, what are they thinking? They don't know me. Do I have a booger up my nose? The mind plays stupid tricks on you, right? And it's amazing how like a couple of people came to me afterwards and said, God, I couldn't have done that. Like, that's so confronting. People are looking at you like that. It's so overwhelming. It was like, wow, when did we start making receiving love overwhelming, right? But I mean, that's just an example of how, what you were just saying, Geeti, manifests in different ways. Yes. And I know that if I had not done the Kirtan before that experience, it would have been a very different one for me. But I was very happy to be in my heart and receive all the blessings. It was delicious and had some good cake. Lots of it. And a nice thing about Kirtan, and I don't know if this is a tradition, guys, you have to tell me that there's always a good meal. After the Kirtan, we sit together and we have a meal. Is that a tradition of Kirtan? Or?
Prasad, isn't it? You can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly, but it is something that is widely practiced in India, like as Geeti was just saying, prasad, which means like offering and a sacred offering of food. So
usually sweet.
Usually very, very sweet.
Offered to the divine.
Yeah, and then
like the mantras.
That's it, and then that's usually passed around, and you receive that, right hand over the left, and then you enjoy eating that as a kind of like, it's like the fruits in a sense of the practice that you've just been sharing together, and it's like the kind of the blessing of the co-creation, because it's been a beautiful co-creation. We always say that we may be the facilitators, but everyone is just as important and plays that, that role in actually raising the vibration.
Well, we're all unity, right? Like it's all, connected, all right? Yeah.
All in it together. So that, all of that beautiful energy and intention and, effort in a sense, like goes into the prasad, and then you feel the benefit of that. And also just, we love to just have meals as well, and then the Hare Krishnas, they do that very often, and it's a beautiful thing because, as you were saying, like the experience with the birthday blessing, your heart was so open to receiving after the Kirtan. So it's kind of like that when we were together as a community, eating together afterwards and sharing, and it's we always love those times because it's like everyone is so much more open than they usually are in society. There's the kind of the armor around the heart has kind of just gone, and it's like this beautiful authentic connection that you can have, and you can have that with people coming for the first time, and they can feel that, and they can feel this love, and like, oh wow, this interaction with others is just like so easy and friendly. These are kind of strangers to me, but I feel kind of at home. I feel kind of comfortable, and it's such a beautiful thing to witness that. And so, like, in a way, the food as well, it's, that's a way for people to just hang around a bit longer as well, and just connect, and have that experience, that really positive experience of like, wow, other people, other humans here, they're in their hearts, I'm in my heart, we're interacting, and that becomes more like of a kind of a normal experience then, in a way, like that, people come regularly. It's like, oh wow, maybe I can, be like that in the everyday world and in my life, in other interactions where maybe people are a lot more guarded and with how they interact. So, but if that's what we found, if we can kind of keep open, then others can kind of feel that vibration and like, oh, okay, wow, okay, I can be a little bit more real than and authentic than, not so guarded than I sometimes am. I mean, especially talking for myself.
Englishman.
The young Englishman.
Englishman
The young Englishman.
loves Kirtan.
Well, it's sort of the concept of breaking bread, isn't it? When you break bread together, there's a connection there. There's a love there, and and that's really what I have found. I mean, not only is the food delicious, and I like a really big plate. I always go to Kirtan hungry. But so
the appetite.
I was like yum 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 yum. But totally, like it really does. You just sense it. There's such a great vibe, and the noise level is often quite high because everyone's really vibrating and enjoying it and stuff. So if you just come for the food, you come for the food. It's good. Honestly, I will do most things for food. So it used to be food and wine, but I don't drink anymore. So now it's just food. So these guys have a really good song called Namaste. I love it. I listen to it every morning. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Like, it's my kirtan, it's my morning kirtan. It's on Spotify.
Yes.
Anywhere else, or just Spotify?
YouTube as well with the video.
Yeah, YouTube with the video. Yes. What's the YouTube handle?
It's just Geeti and Gyan.
We'll put the link in because you probably won't know how to write Gyan. Geeti, but we'll put the link in.
Yes.
And what's the Spotify handle is the same?
Yes.
Yes.
So.
Yes, Geeti and Gyan. That's right.
Aren't we? You can come to our website and all the links are there in one place.
So yes. So what's the website?
You could do Geeti and Gyan.
Just want to put it in there.
Namaste.
Yeah.
That's the landing page for this song, and then you can watch the video from there, and you can go to Spotify or
Bandcamp.
donation.
Yeah, Bandcamp. Yeah.
Bandcamp, yeah.
Support the musicians.
So Bandcamp is where you can contribute, right? So this is the thing with musicians. These guys, I don't know if you know, but the streaming platforms, like you only get a couple of cents if someone downloads it. Like even I think you have to because two of my friends, their sons are musos, so I know that with the online, the musicians don't actually get a lot. So
Taylor Swift.
It's,
because it's tiny.
It's 0.003 cents a stream.
Huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that tiered? That's like a totally irrelevant. Just saying. Okay. Support them. It's good because we want to keep these guys going, and
we've got more coming.
Yeah.
It's more like other songs in the pipeline.
Do you? Awesome.
Yes. Another 5.
Oh, an album.
So an album.
Oh, well, do you have a release date for that or no?
Not yet, but sometime next year.
We'll release a few more singles.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And, then we'll have that. That's our goal focus now, apart from, our regular events and some retreats, is the recorded music, get a few more videos done and get more out there.
Yeah. Get out there. No, I agree. Get out there.
Yeah.
Because, people need to know the stuff, right? And so... so help these guys get out there.
Share the music more so people don't just have to come to live events.
Totally.
For people to listen to it if that's going to be of service to them.
Yeah.
I sing along too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you can listen to it. So I think what we'll do at the end of this interview, we'll put a clip of some kirtan that you guys have done, so people can sort of get an idea of what it is. I always laugh because when Carmela was here, I was like, it's not a cult, and if it is a cult, it's a good cult. And she said to me, I have had experiences with cults, and I don't want to it's not a cult. I'm like, okay, it's not a cult. It's not a cult.
It's not a cult.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, chat about, mention before we wrap things up?
Maybe I can just mention that if you'd like to come, if you're in the Sydney area and you want to come and experience it, we do two kirtans a month, one at our house, usually on the second weekend, and then the last Saturday of the month in Brookvale with another group. And that's also a beautiful sound samadhi.
Balgala.
In Balgala. What did I say, Brookvale? Balgala. So that's a way to come and experience it with some prasad as well and a beautiful community. And then if you're really curious to even learn more and to have an experience of playing harmonium, or maybe you already know about kirtan, but it's like, oh, it's not something I'll ever do. We're actually passionate and running a retreat in November from the 6th to the 9th of November here in Sydney at a beautiful retreat centre called Swami's, which we're going to help inspire and empower people to learn the harmonium. It's not as hard as you might think.
It looks hard.
It looks hard, but it's only one hand. It's like piano has two hands. It's only one hand. And, it's just chords. It's quite simple and even if you just want to play for yourself in the morning, and just do something very simple, it's an opportunity to learn that. And also, some of the rhythm. But, mainly it's to get together, for us, everyone to sing together, to support each other and really immerse ourselves in more kirtan than just like, 2-hour program. It's a whole weekend with yoga and good food as well. Always food.
There's always food, guys. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So, if you're interested, if anyone's interested in that.
And all that information's on your website.
It's on the website. It's easy that way.
And so that's 2025, because we're in 2025 now.
Yes.
I just mentioned that now because if someone watches this or listens to this in like a couple of years, I don't think that's going to be relevant. So just so you know, it's November 2025.
Yeah.
But jump on the website anyway.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I just want to thank you for doing, offering such a wonderful experience and service and helping people to return back to who they are, which is love and light and joy. And as you always say, there's so many things in the world telling you that the world's rubbish, it's falling apart, you're not good enough. Water. I love that water. I get that from Seinfeld. Do you know that? Anyway, it's like water. I want to give more cadence to it. Is that the right word? But I just want to say that, you providing a space where we can come and connect. And I sense, and I'm going to record this because I know I'm going to be true, I sense that you're going to really need a bigger space very soon. I really do sense that. So get ready. Just get ready. And the opportunity is coming up with your house situation, right? Mm-hmm. So I reckon explore that for yourself. That was a download. Yeah, cool, guys. Any final words? No, we're good? No,
just come to Kirtan and experience for yourself if and or just drop us a line and have a chat.
Yeah, cool.
We love to connect and just wherever you're at. Yeah, be beautiful.
Wonderful. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Lots of sass. I like your sass. And I like the science.
You like my geekiness?
That's all too.
Well, these were all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.